Hey, what's up guys? My name is Mr. Vinny, musician, tech entrepreneur, and you're welcome to my YouTube channel, Bevin Optimum Consult. This channel is dedicated to helping you get the right gadget for the right purpose at the right budget. Please, before we go on, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on your post notification button so anytime we drop a video, you'll be the first to get notified. Today, I want to talk about things to consider when buying memory cards. With the increment of fake memory cards in the system and then the complaints we've had over the years, we've realized that this topic is very urgent. People keep complaining about memory cards they got today and then tomorrow it doesn't work. They got it now and it's corrupted. They put one or two files on it and it's not working anymore. So I want to show you some things that you've not known about memory card. First of all, there are three types of memory cards. We have the SD, which is the secure digital. We have the SDHC, which is the secure digital high capacity. We have the SDXC, which is secure digital extended capacity. So every gadget that you get, there is an indication on the gadget that will show you the kind of memory cards that needs to fit into your gadget, which most of us don't really do. We just buy any memory cards. We walk into the gadget shop and we say, you want a memory card. How many gig? You know the gig that you want. Then you buy it, you put it into your... But in an actual sense, maybe the SD card that you got is SDHC, which is the high capacity, which might not be able to work well in the gadget that you got. So it's very important for you to know the types of memory cards that we have. So there are classes of memory cards, which I know most of you are not aware of. We have class 4, class 6, class 10. And the classes comes with the speed. So the higher the class, the higher the speed. The lower the class, surely the lower the speed. So class 4 comes with a writing speed of 4, class 6 the same, class 10. So these are the things that you need to know even before you even set out to buy any memory card. You need to know the types, you need to know the classes, and then you need to know the type that your gadget needs. There are three things that I want to talk about that you need to consider before buying any memory card. So the first thing that you need to consider is your device. Why is it your device? You need to consider which type of SD card your device is compatible with. If it is a camera, mostly it's written at the memory card slot where they will write SD, SDHC or something like that. If it's a phone, you have to read the manual that comes with the phone to know the kind of memory card or the type of memory card that will be compatible with your device. Because if it's not compatible with your device, that's where we get a lot of these issues where your memory cards get corrupted easily all the time. Also, I want to talk about the file systems on the SD cards. So there are file systems on the SD cards that are used or structured to store informations on the SD cards. And because of the imitation nature of memory cards that we have in a system right now, most of them, their file systems are not structured well. So you buy a memory card today, even though it's compatible with your device, you still get corrupted memory cards all the time. So it's very important to know the kind of memory card that will be compatible with your device. The second thing I want to talk about is brand, of course. Because of the file system nature that I've talked about, the way it's structured, we have to get a brand that is noted for memory cards, brands that are very reliable when it comes to memory cards. So anytime you set out to buy a memory card, you need to set out to get a correct brand, a brand that is reliable. There are so many brands that have good file systems that can actually help you get the correct data storage for your device. The third thing I want to talk about is the size of memory cards that best fits your gadgets that you have. So most of these gadgets comes with the storage size, that's the SD card size which your device will be able to pick. So you have to read about the highest size of SD card that your device would be able to pick. So if your device has an internal of 8 gig and your manual says that your SD card size has to be 32 gig, it can take up to 32 gig. That means you don't have to put an SD card which is more than 32 gig. Some people ask why. It's because with the manufacturer, they have tested for the SD card of 32 gig. It might or might not work because they have not done the backward compatibility with the device to see if 64 gig will be able to pick. What they've tested is 32 gig. And so that is why they written in the manual that you need to get an external SD card, or you can extend your memory card to an amount of 32 gig. That means you need to obey 32 gig. When you put a 64 gig, it might work, but that is to your own risk because they have not tested it. Your manual says 32 gig. So you make sure you get 32 gig to fit it. And we have another thing that people always complain about, that they got a size which is lesser than the internal gig of the device. Maybe the device says that you can extend your storage with an SD card of 64 gig and your internal gig is 32 gig. Then you buy an SD card 8 gig and you put it inside. That is a backward compatibility which has not been tested. When the manual says you can pick up to 64 gig SD card, means the internal of your device is 32 gig, meaning you have to start from 32 gig to 64 gig. It doesn't mean that 8 gig wouldn't work. 8 gig might work, 6 gig might work, 2 gig might work, 32 gig might work, 16 gig might work, but if not been tested, most phones that have not been tested well or have manufacturing issues might not even work at all. It might even freeze your device. So the last thing I want to talk about is how to identify all these things we've talked about. So first of all, after knowing the kind of SD card or the type of SD card that your device needs, when you get to the shop and you ask for an SD card, most of the people might or might not have an idea about it. So when you ask for the SD card, you pick it up and you check. Your device needs SDHC, which is the high definition, high capacity. So you look on the SD card, you see it's written SDHC, then you know that, okay, that is exactly the type of SD card my system needs. Another thing to look out for is the class I talked about. The classes are very important. The SDHC, which is the high capacity, start from 4 gig upward. The SD itself start from 2 gig to from megabytes like 512 megabytes to 2 gig. But the SDHC start from 4 gig to 32 gig. So you look closely on it and you see if it's SDHC, then you know it's a high capacity kind of SD card. Then when it's more than 32 gig, which is 64 gig, 128 gig, you need to make sure that it's SDXC, which is the extended capacity. Because 64 gig extended means that it's more, it's higher. But if you get an SD card which is 64 gig, but it's still SDHC, which is the high definition, it means your memory card is not correct or it's a fake. So that one, you look out for it, you search, you see SDXC on it. When you look out for these things and you know the type that your device wants, then you are good to go. Another thing that you need to look out for is the class of memory card is very important. So as when you're copying data or you're putting files on your SD card, you don't have much issues with it. So what you look out for is, you look out for C, mostly it's written C and 10 in it, or C with something in it. Or you look out for U and a 3 or U and a 1 in it. So the C and the 10 in it means that class 10, which of course is the highest writing speed, and of course is the good or is the best that you can go for. You can see U with 3 in it. It is class 3. It is in a class of 3. It's in a class of 4. It's in a class of 5. It's in a class of 6. So you look out for these things. They're all written on the SD card. It's not written on the adapter. And I want to make it clear that for phones that you might be able to put it, you have your SD card itself and then the adapter. So it's not written on the adapter, it's written on the SD card itself. All these things that we talked about, it's written on the SD card itself. But in cameras, their memory cards are always together. So everything is written on it. If you're using a camera from the 80s or from the 90s, fine, you can pick most of these memory card SD cards. But if it is in the 20s, then you need a memory card for your device, which doesn't have to have an adapter and then the memory card itself. Everything is the memory card. So everything is written on it, the class, the type, or everything is written on the SD card for you to see. Thank you guys for watching. I hope the next time that you set out to buy a memory card, you consider these things and look out for these things that we've talked about on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on your post notification button so anytime we drop any video, you'll be the first to get notified. It's your boy, VI2NY, Vinny.